Boom, there we are. Good morning, y'all. Okay, we're up and running. I gotta get back to the longest running Christian day now.
Rolling down the highway of life, just a gypsy with a full tank of gas. Not sure where my next meal's from. Put down the pedal, singing to the sun. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down south today? Tomorrow is one more day. Sunshine, light my way. Northbound and ready to go. Rocking down the highway.
Good morning.
On a sold out show. And I smoke because I roll my own. Reading all the billboards telling me to go home. Moonshine, light my way. Would you take me down today? Tomorrow, one more day. So moonshine, light my way. Had a little trouble way back when. Life ain't easy, back on the road again. Got myself lost way out of town. Said a prayer to the dashboard, and I would not back down. Moonshine, light my way. Won't you take me down south today? Tomorrow is one more day. Sunshine, light my way. Coming through the fog after light. Better cross your fingers that you'll make it home alive. Shadows jump out from my car. Keep your eyes on the dashboard and your life in the jar. Moonshine, light my way. Would you take me down south today? Tomorrow is one more day. So moonshine,
Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. I hope you're enjoying whichever media outlet you're enjoying us through. And if you're enjoying both, well, good luck, because I think the delay is a little different, and so it may be kind of hard to follow. But we're glad you're enjoying it no matter what way you're enjoying it. Stick around, share the links with your friends and family. Hell, share it with your enemies. I don't care. Just share it with somebody. I've got big news to share with you. It looks like Joe Cat is going to be here October the 4th for Medieval Custom Cycles Open House. Looks like we may have an event or two possible for him in other venues, like maybe Friday night or something later on Saturday night. But it is, it's pretty well confirmed. I mean, they haven't heard. Joe Cat said he looks like he's going to be here. Looks like the whole band is going to be here. He said, if not the whole band, at least him and one member will be here to do an acoustic set because they want to come up. So they're going to be in the area. We're looking forward to having Joe Cat and the Burning Angels here October the 4th at Medieval Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland for our annual open house. It's the fall open house. We do a spring and a fall one here, so mark your calendars for October the 4th. We'll be doing our thing here at Medieval Custom Cycles all afternoon long, and we'll be doing it with Joe Cat. Yes, Charlotte Midnight Rider, you can camp here. On a matter of fact, I'll let you stay in my camper. It's parked here at the shop in Charlotte, so you can be sure to be here when Joe Cat gets here. Yes, Joe Cat's going to be here for the show, the open house, and I know Charlotte's probably jumping up and down right now, or when she hears this on the podcast, she'll be jumping up and down. So we're looking forward to that. We got a lot of things coming up. September the 11th, yours truly will be DJing at the Poorhouse. I'll be your MC DJ for opening night of Ocean City Bike Week 2014. We had a great time last year and looking forward to a great one this year. Mr. Johnny Lang and Strip Club Choppers will be joining us. Miss SEC will be there as well. Big Country from SEC Southeast. Going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. We'll have a moment of silence honoring those who lost their lives back on September 11th, 2001. And then we will kick off the party like no other. Opening night of Bike Night, doing it the only way we know how, and that's Strip Club Chopper style. Got a lot to share with you. I've got your Powerball numbers from last night. Powerball numbers for Wednesday, August the 27th will be up momentarily. Don't forget to go by the Tim Yarsh page and post up your answer to the Walrus Wonders question of the day. How important is religion in your daily life, in your day-to-day life? How important is religion? I mean, do you have daily devotionals? And do you think, does it, you don't think about it until Sunday morning at 9:30 to figure out what you're going to wear to church, or do you even go to church at all? How important is religion in your life? Post up your answer to the Walrus Wonders question of the day. Did you get your tickets out? Got your pen ready? Well, here's your Powerball numbers from Wednesday, August the 27th, 2014. 17, 24, 26, 45, 46, and your Powerball is 19. Pat Robertson opens his mouth again and sticks his foot in it as far as I'm concerned, but, that's just me. It could be I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. God knows I will be wrong again. But at what point in time does somebody of higher level intelligence step up and say that you are listening to the babblings of an old fool? I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but to religious this up and make the statement he says is ridiculous. First of all, it makes him contradict himself, because he always preaches there's but one God. And I've heard Pat Robertson say that before. There is but one God. What one true God. Okay. But the God of the heathens is what led Robin Williams to commit suicide. I'll read you the quote of what he said, but oh my God, how do we allow people like this to stand up and lead people? You're just one moron leading another bunch of morons down a moronic road. Pat Robertson thinks he knows what could have saved Robin Williams. More Jesus. Okay. On his show, The 700 Club on ABC Family, Wednesday, Robinson warned viewers of the consequences of chasing gods such as fame and money. You see, these very popular people in the media who commit suicide, like Robin Williams recently, and you say, what is the deal with him? What happened? He seems to have everything under control. You find people who are at the top of the game in music and they're strung out on drugs. What happened? What was their God? You see, the God of the heathen are idols, and everything that you seek in life can ruin you unless that something or somebody is God himself. Okay. So you're basically throwing out the whole clinical diagnosis, treatment, and study of depression, correct, Mr. Robertson? The idea that this man had a mental health disease because, oh dear God in heaven, you are throwing out the same crap that was thrown out to me my entire life that taught me to believe my father was some demon-possessed heathen instead of a broken human being who was raised in an orphanage and at the age of 17 handed a machine gun and told him to go kill whatever stood in front of him in the jungles of Vietnam. So don't tell me he was demon-possessed and my father was going to split the gates of hell wide open because of demon possession. Let's talk about the facts of life and what happened to him and the psychological damage that was done. People don't want to realize or address the fact of PTSD, and yes, maybe there are some abusers of the system, but let's look at everything the government does. It's always abused, all the way from welfare to Social Security to everything else. We're not here to discuss that right now. The fact that some blithering idiot who has put himself in a position of leadership for a bunch of morons who cannot believe for themselves and open a book and understand that there are some real mental health issues in this country. To the point where the one football player come out with the lime green bands on his ankles and wrists that said mental illness, or what was it? I forget, but it was something referencing mental health. He said it's one of the worst, most ignored diseases in American society. My father fought his entire life to get the government to admit the damage that was done to him. At this point in time, I can say that he is 100% combat disabled, and the government is doing what they should do to take care of his health needs, and his mental needs. But for a long time, a very long time, nobody wanted to acknowledge it. They let these people, and not all of them are veterans. People, mental health is depression. There's so many vast genres of mental health. And for you to say that he committed suicide because he was chasing an idol god like fame and fortune, come on, the man was given an unbelievable talent. He didn't chase anything, it chased him. A man who was given that kind of talent by the deity that created this universe, as you refer to your religious God, you personalize him and make him what you want. You do the same exact thing the Muslims do. They worship a God too that is all powerful and almighty. They just happen to call him Allah, and they personalize him. It is an energy. It is a deity, yes, that is much more powerful, but it doesn't have hatred. It's all about positivity and negativity and the science of mental illness, and your willingness to dismiss it as some mythical god is just pathetic to me. And the fact that you would say something about such a talented human being as Robin Williams, the vast genre of acting he was able to do, as well as his genius stand-up comedy. And he suffered depression, suffered from an illness called depression, Mr. Robertson. He didn't chase some false god. And musicians alike that are strung out on drugs, their music is so impactful because it comes from a painful place. Robin Williams was such a comedic genius because his comedy came from a very painful place. A part of his mind that he could not learn to control and fight that depression, Mr. Robertson. You and people like you make me sick to my stomach, because you take an illness that is a true illness, a true disease that is ignored in this country, and dismiss it as some religious flaw in somebody. There's a huge flaw in you, Mr. Robertson, and everyone like you. This may get me thrown off the air, and the entire world may turn against me, because I know Pat Robertson is a dearly loved man, but I'm calling bullshit on this one, because that same bullshit has been fed to me my entire damn life. My father was not possessed by demons, nor was he far, far away from God and needed to repent. He needed medical help. Mental health, medical help. That type of medical help, mental health, to help deal with what he did as a soldier in Vietnam. On top of that, nobody even gave any thought to the fact of how damaged he was by being an orphan, living in an orphanage, being ripped out of his home in the middle of the night while his mom was tending bar to take care of him because my grandfather was in jail. And the neighbors turned her in for leaving her children, and my father was the oldest. He was taking care of his younger brother and sister, and they were all ripped out of the house in the middle of the night, and he spent quite a few years in an orphanage before he was able to be returned to his mother and new stepfather. Let's talk about the damage that does to a human being. And then you want to give that human being a gun? You tell him, yeah, all the rage that you feel and hatred in life you feel, take it out on these people. And nobody will ever ask any questions. Never thinking about that one day that individual would wake up with a conscience. And the people and children that he killed and the things he did would begin to haunt him. Nobody wanted to give any thought or care about that. My dad was just demon possessed. Pray for him. Come on, man, you're feeding gullible people just a big pile of gullible crap. And this is, I have lost a great deal of respect for you. I had, at least you were strong and stood fast to what you believe in. But for you to dismiss something as traumatizing as mental illness, as Robin Williams chasing a false god, what led him to be in a place in his life that he wanted to commit suicide, that it was better to end it. What you also don't know was that maybe Robin Williams made a conscious decision. His wife, Susan Schneider, later released a statement saying the actor's sobriety was intact at the time of his death, and that he had been struggling with the early stages of Parkinson's disease. And maybe rather than fight that battle, and depression too, he opted to take his own life. Mr. Robertson, I'm very disappointed in you, and I think you have just truly proven to me how just bogus religion in and of itself truly is. I it is just very frustrating to me. Robin Williams' soul, when it comes back around the next time, you'll know it will be another creative type genius. But next time he'll have a better grip and a better control, and he won't fight the battles he fought this time, and he will be even more impressive the next time. That's just my 2 cents. But as far as Mr. Robertson goes, that's a piece of my mind, brother. That's just a piece of my mind. I've got some music coming up for you. I believe, yes, it is my friends from Silver Tongue, one of my favorite song of theirs, The Pawn, and you're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show here on the Walrus Radio Network and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycle Studios in Street, Maryland. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Well, let's see how that crap goes over. I know it ain't going to go over too damn well, I know, with a lot of religious folks. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show, watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycle Studios in Street, Maryland. I hope you're having a great Thursday morning, man. The weather is beautiful outside. I had the opportunity to ride Pam Pie's bike to work today. Going to get a little help with that clutch levers. It's a little too tight for her, so Rick's got a solution for it, and he's going to apply that solution for her. So I rode her bike to work. It was a beautiful ride in today. If you got to get some two-wheel therapy on your way to work, you enjoyed it as well. If not, do your best to get some today. It looks like the Labor Day weekend is going to be a huge, beautiful success, at least through Sunday. Sunday's going to be like 90, but with the potential of some thunderstorms. So that's going to be a big picnic day, I'm sure, for a lot of folks. And Monday is the day most people will be off, so we will be as well, taking the day off from the radio show on Monday, folks. So don't look for us again until Tuesday. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, as I will be enjoying mine, and we'll get back together again on Tuesday. We still got Friday to go, though, and a lot more entertainment here on Thursday. We want you to get some two-wheel therapy in, and if your two wheels need therapy, be sure you give Rick Stevenson a call at Medieval Custom Cycles. He can give your bike all the therapy it needs. So when you need your therapy, it'll answer the call for you. Rick Stevenson is a certified Harley mechanic, and he is a graduate from the Motorcycle Mechanics Institute in Phoenix, Arizona. You can come by, give him a call, whatever you feel is easiest. Give him a call at 410-457-5500, and remember, they do everything from simple services to custom builds from the ground up, including custom paint. It's your one-stop shop for all your two-wheel needs. Medieval Custom Cycles and Rick Stevenson. Guarantee you they'll take better care of you at Medieval Custom Cycles than Southwest Airlines will. At least they won't lose you or any of your family members. Airlines misplace luggage all the time, but Southwest Airlines is coming under fire for losing a passenger. Yes, a passenger. After visiting her daughter, Alice Vaticano, 85, was flying home to Denver from Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. A skycap working on behalf of Southwest Airlines promised to take Vaticano in her wheelchair directly to her gate, but actually abandoned her along the way. Vaticano missed her flight and was stuck in Newark for 11 hours. She pushed me there and left me, Vaticano told CBS Denver. I was just sitting all day in a wheelchair. Vaticano, and I know I'm probably not pronouncing that name right, but that's what Vaticano, who has diabetes and was confined to her wheelchair without food or a chance to use the restrooms before she was finally noticed by airline employees, according to her daughter, Donna Vaticano. It says that she is estimated to have sat there approximately a few hours. And where was she? What happened to her? These are people's jobs, Donna Vaticano said, according to the New York Daily News. This woman, was supposed to be taking her mother. What was the purpose of pulling her somewhere, parking her out of the way, and then never going back to get her? Are you just that damned absent-minded? Is your job not that important to you that you don't focus on it the full 8 hours while you're there? Were you too busy texting? Did you get caught up in an argument with your boyfriend? You know, what's going on here? Why, if this is what the work ethic in America is like, no wonder America is in the condition it is in. Southwest Airlines blamed Vaticano's loopy layover to a processing error in the check-in process. Yes, this woman was checked in. It did not alert our employees at the gate to her special need, which was a wheelchair, in boarding the aircraft, according to a spokesperson who told that to WCBS. But who then got her in the wheelchair? After Southwest realized the mistake, Vaticano was placed on a connecting flight through Chicago to Denver. The airline also claimed it gave her a heartfelt apology and $200 worth of airline vouchers. Come on, man, 11 hours of this woman's time, who was left in a wheelchair with no opportunity to use the restroom, and it's worth a heartfelt apology and $200 worth of vouchers. You've made a huge inconvenience in this woman's life. You put her health and well-being and just her self-esteem. If she's sitting there and has to use the bathroom and soils herself, how embarrassing is that? How, degrading is that? And you are responsible for putting her in that position. This woman was 85 years old. Now, yes, maybe a family member should have been traveling with somebody that age, but she may be high functioning to, mentally, her physical level, and you were responsible. And this woman working on behalf, this sky cap, as they call her, working on behalf of Southwest Airlines, said she would get her to her plane and just parked her and left her. That sounds almost malicious. And it's only worth $200? Accountability and responsibility. This is what I have been stating for a very long time, that there is no accountability anymore, so nobody feels any sense of responsibility, because we'll buy her, here's a heartfelt apology and $200, she'll go away, and they'll reprimand the employee. That was very wrong of them, that person, to do that. That person shouldn't have a job. That person should have, what they should have is possibly a psychological evaluation. Anybody that would do that to an 85-year-old woman, and you are either severely mentally handicapped or you're just a sociopath with no conscience and have no care for other human beings. You park an 85, and at some point you didn't even remember. And then when she didn't check in, they boarded the plane. They knew she had checked in. Somebody didn't go start looking for her, knowing that she had to have been in the airport if she checked in but hadn't boarded the plane. It sounds like you have multiple failed processes there, Southwest. That's just my perspective. But $200 worth of vouchers, that's an insult more than it is an offering of, repentance. Here, we're very sorry. Here's $200 worth of vouchers. What, so I can get left by another sky cap? I need more money than that, because I apparently have to have a companion fly with me, because I can't trust you all to get me safely through the airport in a timely fashion without parking me somewhere and leaving me. That's ridiculous. It's hilarious, though. It is. You have to laugh, because what are you going to do, cry? I mean, I'm sure that lady was crying at some point in time, if nothing more, tears of joy when she finally got back home to Denver. And this, trip from hell was over. But to think that this is how sad that some sky cap whose job is to transport people with special needs to and from gates and things of that nature just parks her off in a corner and leaves her and never goes back. That's very, very sad. Very, very sad. I've got some Sunset North coming up for you. This is the Thursday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show. We're broadcasting live from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios in Street, Maryland. You can also watch the live video stream on YouTube just by searching the Thunder Walrus Show. Check it out. Let us know what you think of the video. Share it with your friends. Share it with your families. Share it with your enemies. I don't care. I just want people to listen. Give me feedback. Let me know. We want to keep you entertained. It is my goal each and every day to put a smile on your face, to help you splash a little happiness back into your happy cup. If you can't do anything else, just put a smile on your face to make other people wonder what you're up to, because If you smile all the time, they will. I'm the kind of guy that if I see somebody smiling too much, I'm wondering if they're contemplating my death. And then I wonder, well, I wonder if they know that about me and that's why they're smiling just to get under my skin. I don't know. But then it becomes a whole sense of paranoia and I have to break that cycle. So we won't go down that road too far. But find a way to splash some happiness into your happy cup. It's Thursday. The weather outside is beautiful. Take a little extra long lunch, or maybe eat your lunch at your desk and take your lunchtime. Go cruise outside. Get a little sunshine on your face. Let a little Mother Nature kiss you on the lips and on the cheek and a little bit everywhere. It's a beautiful day. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're not in a happy place, get your wiggle on, man. You know what it is. It's your tool to shake the negativity out of your life. It's just an outward expression of an inward change, but it's a way for you to break that concentration that you have on all the negative things going on and refocus on all the positive and good things in your life. That always puts a happy smile on my face. First off, just because I really shake, I wiggle, and people look at me like, the hell's wrong with you? You having a seizure? Yeah, kind of. I am. Leave me alone. It's my seizure. Let me have it. And when I'm done, I can say, you know what? I've got the greatest woman on the planet. I've got two of the greatest dogs on the planet. I've got a wonderful home and two wonderful motorcycles that I can enjoy and ride. I've got three good cars. Well, one Pan 5, but I've got two good cars, my truck and my little Honda. Life is very good. It doesn't take long for me to not worry about where's my next gig coming from and how can we raise more money, and when the equipment starts going bad, where are we going to get the money from, because we're not getting the sponsorship we need. And I'm as guilty of it as anybody. There's a lot of things I could focus on and just generate a whole lot of negative energy by worrying about it. But you know what? I get to do the things I'd love to do each and every day, which is be on this radio show with you and this live video stream with those of you watching. And then I get to hang out around the thing I love second most in this world, is motorcycles. And I said thing. I didn't say person. The person I love most in this world is my Pan 5. The thing I love is doing this show, and the second most important thing is motorcycles. And Rick allows me to hang out here and help him a little bit. And it's a wonderful life. You need to get to that place and figure out how to find that happy spot in your life and in your place, and stay focused on it, man. Don't let anybody splash your happy cup dry. Here's some Sunsets North. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles here in Street, Maryland. Vampire says can't pull up the Google video. All right, let me check it and make sure it's still running. It says we're on. I can't see any problem on my side. It says I'm still broadcasting, so it may be something in the internet connection, possibly. Keep me posted if anybody else is experiencing any problems. Let me see. It says I've got viewers, but I don't know who they are. It doesn't identify them. You ever heard of a product called the Knee Defender? Sounds too good to be true. Well, maybe it is, but it is apparently bringing change to the FAA. Reclining seats have plagued long-legged travelers for decades. When the seat back in front of you lowers into your lap, you know it's going to be a bumpy ride. She said she's got it. It was her. Okay. Good to know that we got it on. And now, for a mere $22, travelers can purchase a device called the Knee Defender. It's a handy device that halts the ability for an airplane seat to recline. It gained internet fame in June, and you can purchase the device online for that aforementioned mere $22 and attach it to the base of the tray table in front of them. Then the person in the seat would be unable to recline, meaning the device has drama basically built into it. Well, that's what happened because, unsurprisingly, the device made waves when an in-flight fight broke out Sunday on a United flight thanks to the Knee Defender. One passenger attached the Knee Defender in their tray table, preventing the person in front of them from reclining. The aircraft was diverted mid-flight due to the throwdown. Because the FAA does not specifically ban devices like the Knee Defender, individual airlines are left to decide whether or not to allow the device, according to the Associated Press. United and all other major airlines have banned it here in America. In Australia, Qantas, Virgin, and Jetstar have a ban against the Knee Defender, according to the Daily Mail. Now, the Daily Mail also reported, though, that as these airlines are banning them, which means you can't bring them on the flight, sales are skyrocketing. The Knee Defender sales have surged since the fight on the United flight, resulting in a website outage on Tuesday. What is it about Americans that as soon as something's illegal, you can't have it, they want to rush and buy it? At this rate, though, reclining seats may not be an issue for much longer. Both Spirit Airlines and Allegiant Air have already removed the reclining mechanisms from their seats in June. Monarch Airlines announced their new fleet will not include reclining seats. Do they really recline that much anyway? I mean, it's just a little bit. It only goes back like 4 inches, doesn't it? It's not like you're in your lazy boy at home, for God's sakes. I don't think anybody's really going to miss it. And usually when I'm on a plane, if there's somebody behind me, I don't recline my seat just for that purpose. That whole, do unto others. Well, if I don't want the guy in front of me reclining, I should be respectful of the person behind me and not reclining. Makes sense? Does to me. So that's the rule I live by. If I don't want it done to me, I try not to do it to other people. I don't recline your seat, but I'm going to recline on you. Now, if there's nobody behind me, oh man, I live it up. I throw popcorn over my shoulder, hot loogies back there. No, I'm just kidding. That's wrong. That would be wrong. What is also wrong is, though, the story I'm about to tell you. It is amazing to me, the propaganda and media blitz that can swarm out of rumors, and yet there is absolutely no truth to it whatsoever, and nothing to prove it. There's no evidence to back it up. We'll share that with you as our last story of the day as we get ready to wrap up the Thursday edition. But before that, I've got some Arizona for you that we'll be back with this other huge myth that is based truly out of speculation, and then we'll wrap it up. Good morning, Walrus Nation. Good morning, Walrus Nation. You're listening to the Thunder Walrus Show and watching the live video stream from Medieval Custom Cycles in Street, Maryland. Monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate. MSG, as we all affectionately know it. Well, guess what? It may not be as evil as you think. and there is no real proof to say it is evil at all. This week, the American Chemical Society, the ACS, a congressionally chartered group representing people in all fields of chemistry, released a video debunking the additive's negative reputation. Monosodium glutamate is a flavor enhancer that beefs up the savory qualities of food, commonly known on store shelves as things like Accent and Mrs. Dash and what have you. It's a sodium form of glutamic acid, which is found in protein-rich foods such as meats and milk, and is also produced by the human body. It's abundant inside us, and our bodies can't even tell the difference between the form we make and the sodium form we add to food. Now, with that being said, where did all of the bad press come from? How was it come to the fact that monosodium glutamate became such an evil thing? Well, the bad press started in 1968 because we all know that MSG was big in Chinese food, Asian-style food. They use MSG in it, and some of their foods was loaded with it. Now that you can find Asian-style restaurants that will say they do not use MSG in any of their food, but here's how the bad press started in 1968 when a scientist wrote in the New England Journal of Medicine about feeling numbness, weakness, and palpitations after eating Chinese food. The journal thought MSG was to blame, and though decades of research since then contend that MSG in large amounts can affect a select few, the FDA and worldwide health organizations have declared it totally fine to consume, as in all things, moderation. You can take in too much, but it's not unhealthy. Your body makes the same thing, and everybody, I'm allergic to MSG. No, you're not. Your body makes it, you moron. You don't even know what you're talking about. How can you be, if your body would be attacking itself. If you're allergic to MSG, your body would be attacking itself because these scientists say that it's abundant inside our bodies, and our bodies can't even tell the difference between the form we make and the sodium form we add to food. So if that is the case, then they are all just mind screwing us into believing that MSG is bad. Where are the real smart people that would say, like these guys, where have you been for all these years? That MSG's been getting a bad rap. You just now decided to go, hey, look, let's do some studies and really test this crap, because apparently nobody ever has. But yet we've built all kinds of myths and theories in our heads about how bad MSG is for you. And, oh, I'm swelling up, I'm retaining water because of the monosodium glutamate. Well, maybe you're just taking in too much of it. Maybe you shouldn't have ate the whole large container of lo mein there, Porky Pig. Maybe that's what your problem is. It has nothing to do with the MSG. It's like everything else in your life, the quantity of the MSG you're taking in. Dial it down a little bit. Back off. Push away from the table every once in a while, for God's sakes. Just because you get a large doesn't mean you have to eat the whole thing. You can get a doggy bag and take it home, you know. You can have it for lunch tomorrow, you know. Nope, some people know no restraint. Some people know no limitations whatsoever. Yeah, I'm getting some feedback that the Pat Robertson stuff was almost a throwback to the Walrus Attack show. It kind of was, but I'm not going to do that every day. But something like that is disturbing to me. It bothers me, you know. That ain't right. It's not right for him to say that man's problems were what he said they were, a demon and him chasing a false god. No, the man has mental illness. The man was mentally fractured and apparently couldn't repair it. And it caused him to do something that we find very sad, and that is that he took his own life. So with that being said, the chips will fall where they may. If it offends anybody, you just have to be offended. I'm allowed to speak my mind. You're allowed to be offended. We'll agree to disagree for today. We're going to wrap it up, folks. This is the Thunder Walrus Show, broadcasting live from the Medieval Custom Cycle Studios here in Street, Maryland, and streaming live on YouTube via Google Hangouts. We appreciate you joining us, and hopefully you'll join us again tomorrow for the Friday edition of the Thunder Walrus Show. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, hell, share it with your enemies. I don't care who you share it with, just share it with somebody. We need people, listeners. We're trying to draw advertisers. We are the best damn entertainment on the planet. It's a 24-hour stream of music. For your entertainment, you can catch the Thunder Walrus Show live every day, 10 a.m. You can also catch Benzotti live nightly here with your dose of heavy metal and hard rock. And coming soon to the Walrus Radio Network, it's going to be Cigar Talk. We'll have more information about that in the coming weeks, but very excited to be bringing you new and varieties of entertainment here on the Walrus Radio Network. Until we meet again tomorrow, boys and girls, be sure you love yourselves. Do your best to love somebody else. Peace, Walrus Nation. And for those of you on the live video stream, appreciate you hanging out. Don't forget, each and every day we have the question and answers up there. You're allowed to send us questions, statements, comments, whatever you like. For those that participated today, we appreciate you. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.